Namaste. Enlightenment is freedom from suffering. And the qualities of an enlightened person are the qualities someone seeking freedom should develop. The enlightened person has no doubt whatsoever that Atma, I, is limitlessness, Ananda in Sanskrit, and they are that. Knowing what you are free from hatred, and this is expressed as love. This love can be compassion or simply being friendly, depending on the situation. Although these and the following qualities are those of an enlightened person, it's not beneficial to judge whether someone is enlightened with either the presence or absence of any of these. An enlightened person wouldn't be as quick to judge, and that's for very good reason. The enlightened person, Jnani in Sanskrit, will bear no ill will or hatred to anyone, even if they cause them pain. And the reason for this is that Jnani, the enlightened person, sees all living beings as them. There's no separation. If you depend on the world, there will be likes and dislikes. And this can cause you to look at objects, including people, in terms of either making you happy or taking happiness away. And that can be a big problem. But if you're free inside and don't depend on the world, your perspective is objective, and love is what you express as. Hatred and anger, they're about control, aren't they? But there is no real control, which means they're futile. A person is responsible to themselves for their own actions. They are not responsible to you. Everyone does what they can, and at any moment. And this quality of accommodation, it doesn't leave room for hatred or anger. This absence of hatred is Advesta Sarva Bhutanam in Sanskrit, Advesta Sarva Bhutanam. This person cannot be hurt. In order to hate, you must be able to be hurt. Though how can consciousness, all it is, how can consciousness be hurt? This person, the enlightened being, will be friendly in nature. Their nature will be friendly. They will not be stuck up, and they will have no airs and graces. They can appear ordinary, and they don't care to hide this ordinariness, this ordinary nature. They're able to accommodate other people in all their ways through compassion. Just like they are friendly or compassionate, they're also sympathetic. They're not going to be interested in making a lot of money or position, including being a Vedanta teacher. Heaven forbid. Should the enlightened person teach, in truth, they will know already that you are limitless consciousness and you don't have any problems. But why would they teach then? Because they're more sensitive to people, to people's behavior, and they will teach out of sympathy and compassion for other people. That's why. This describes the enlightened person as one who is fearless, fearless in the face of fear. Though there is another description, that of a madman. And this is because it seems that they are happy for no reason. But the truth is, guys, that such a person is happy because it is their nature. They're almost childlike and they are free from likes and dislikes. Hmm. The Yanni doesn't have a sense of something belonging to them. And this is because there is no idea of I being the physical body. In fact, such a person sees everything as belonging to God. Everything is God. God is everything. For them, pleasure and pain, they're equal because God is everything. The situations that bring either about pleasure or pain, they are viewed equally as well. As this person doesn't depend on any situation to make them happy. That's freedom, unconditional freedom. This isn't some form of spiritual idealism or bypassing. The situations are what they are, and they're accepted as they are. It's cool. Huh? Though sadness or happiness can be seen, if that's appropriate, for one really good reason, that it's okay to have the human experience, the full human experience. The enlightened person has no fear, no fear, no need to protect happiness, and no fear of losing happiness, and no fear of sadness. Fearless. So, should the enlightened person encounter hostility, they may keep their composure. Though an important point is this shouldn't be regarded as a rule, or else spiritual idealism and judgments can be placed on the enlightened person for what may well be simply appropriate human responses. Even though a person is enlightened, the body still is important. The body being healthy and nothing happening to it. This understanding would express along the lines of the body is physically hurt, though I am not. Okay. Enlightened people, they are always satisfied. It doesn't matter what the experience is. In fact, it doesn't matter if there is a lack of experience. Enlightened people, enlightened beings, Yanni, are also satisfied even if the mind is sad. It's freedom. People suffer because their happiness is dependent on things. Yeah. For the enlightened person, though, they are always happy, irrespective of anything or anything. There can be no problem with the world because that would be a problem with God itself. The enlightened person has a restful mind because they have nothing to do with the mind. This person is free from anxiety, fear, and jealousy. And this is because God's glory is not separate from them, and anything that is accomplished by anyone is also their accomplishment. Since there is no fear, the enlightened person will live without worry about what other people think. Fear can only have impact when there, are two things, as this implies separation and limitation. The enlightened person knows that there are not two, only Advaita, Sanskrit for non-duality, not two. Jnani, free people, enlightened beings, are able to know what needs to be done and act accordingly quite quickly. They also don't take sides with anyone. If there is a difference, that's determined by existing sociological platforms, such as existing roles or duties. The enlightened person, the free person, has a dispassionate mind, and they won't be inclined to extremes. This cultivates objectivity. Although there may be duties, in reality, the enlightened person has little need or inclination to begin activities. And this is because what was most important in life has been accomplished, which is freedom. Freedom from suffering. Moksha. Enlightenment in Sanskrit. Moksha. Should the enlightened person, should their desires be fulfilled, they are not going to be excited. Maybe they're a teacher. The enlightened person will teach if somebody wants to learn. It's as simple as that. But the Jnani never gets happy when desires are met, nor has hatred when hostile things occur. And there is never, ever any regret over anything. It's nonsensical for the enlightened person. There is no regrets. Like the Robbie Williams song. There's no sadness if things close to them are took away, because they know that loss, it's a natural part of life. It happens every day. The enlightened person doesn't experience great loss when someone dies, for an example. They know that people die every day. It is a part of life. And this is because for the enlightened person, they don't fear death, not even their own, because there is nothing to fear. However, it is appropriate that they may have sympathy for others. Certainly not for themselves. There's no need. This person, the enlightened person, doesn't try to cultivate good karma, nor try to avoid bad karma. Yeah, sure. There may be activities such as teaching or helping others, or various other things. But this is not to gather good karma. Because the enlightened person knows there is nothing to gain. They are ananda, limitlessness, anantam, infinitude, purnatvam, not lacking anything, not needing anything. Jnani, free people, enlightened people, they regard both friends and enemies as the same. And there's an interesting question Can the enlightened person have enemies? Although they don't create enemies, enemies can still appear. And this is because of many factors, such as spiritual idealism, judgments, even jealousy being placed on the enlightened person. Like a friend doesn't make the enlightened person happy, also, an enemy doesn't upset them either, or a person upset with them. The enlightened person will be content also in rain and sunshine. The enlightened person is not affected by praise, nor are they affected by disrespect or others trying to shame them. The mind will not be disturbed in regard to opposites. As explained, should you praise the enlightened person or criticize them? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the enlightened person. Praise and criticism by someone who has yet to attain enlightenment in regard to someone who has attained that perspective means nothing. How could it? The person that is praising or criticizing, a person that is seeking enlightenment, that is praising and criticizing somebody who has attained that, the thing's nonsensical. Generally, the mind of the jnani, the enlightened person, is vast, like an ocean. At times it may be calm, at other times dynamic and powerful, but it's always fullness itself. And here we ask the question, what value does placing spiritual idealism on the enlightened person have? Because freedom is freedom, as in full stop, period freedom. The enlightened person will use words very carefully, very precisely, and will always say exactly what they mean. There will be little desire to have small talk, as there is no pressing need to endlessly talk. The free person, they are happy in any situation because they're happy with themselves. Whatever is needed to take care of oneself will be done, but there is no desire to change the world in order to do this. There will also be an absence of complaining because this person is pleased with themselves. They don't need the world to make them happy. Generally, though, there are no real definitive signs as to whether someone is enlightened. The only certain factor is whether the person has knowledge of what they are, that they are limitless and complete. Limitless and complete. Atmananda Swarupa. These are some of the qualities of an enlightened person. It's by no means exhaustive. And for someone that is seeking enlightenment, seeking freedom, these are some of the qualities or attributes to cultivate, to develop. Pranams to His Holiness Puji Swami Dayananda Saraswati for the inspiration for this video, from his beautiful work, the Bhagavad Gita Home Study Course. Namaste. Namaste.